Hey everybody, HistorySoldier here, and today I'm going to be answering a question, which is a gun question, and that question is today, why did the US military, or the US, never adopt a lever-action rifle? Now, this actually was a good question to me in general, because I'm a gun nut. I love learning about guns, the history of guns, shooting them, just learning everything about them. Like, I've watched the entire series of The Tales of the Gun, I watched Lock and Load with Arlie Emery, I think? Arlie Hammer, I think? I don't know, I forgot his name. But as I thought, I love both systems. I love the bolt action and I love the lever action because lever action is like, it's Western, cowboy, it's cool. Like you see it in a lot of cowboy movies, adventurous. But then you got the bolt action rifles, which I love because, well, they're both just easy systems to use. But then I thought, well, if the lever action was so revolutionary for its time and, game changing on the battlefield, why was it never adopted by the U.S.? Well, I'm not saying, first off, there were lever actions used by the military, but just never adopted officially, such as the Spencer rifle and the Henry repeating rifles, which were bought and maintained by some Civil War soldiers on both sides in the Civil War. But mainly, I think before I go any further, this question isn't going to have one answer. There's going to be multiple answers that could be, true or not true. Some people will say, well, it's not a problem for me. Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm sorry, but I'm talking about people back then and what they thought. Now, let's go over bolt action real quick. If you look at a lever action and a bolt action, well, the bolt action is going to have a faster reloading speed because bolt actions, you can load it from the top with a stripper clip. 5 rounds or 10 rounds, just like that. Easy. Just put it down. Lever action is a high rate of fire, but it's not a fast reloading speed. If you have a tubular magazine like the Henry, and you don't have the side part of the rifle where you slide the rounds into the tube, but you have to load it from the top of the tube, then you're going to have problems when you're on the battlefield. And another thing, bolt action rifles were able to use pointed bullets. Lever actions were not. This wasn't changed until 1886 with Winchester's large bore rifle and 45 caliber 70 caliber in 1886. Which meant people started to prefer bolt action rifles because, they were a lot powerful, more rounds. And that's another thing. The lever actions couldn't handle the powerful rounds. And basically that didn't change till, Winchester's rifle in 1886. And, well, lever actions are really fast to shoot, but unlike bolt action rifles where easy to shoot in prone position, which you'll see in like World War I and World War II films, like they're just laying down on their stomach shooting bolt action rifles, no problem, just shoot, pull back the bolt, put more ammunition there, shoot. Lever action's hard too, because I think every time, if I was to think about it, if you don't have a lot of room, then you can't really pull that lever unless you got to roll on your side and pull the lever and then go back on your flat on your stomach and then shoot, which can be a problem because what if you roll up and then a sniper sees you and then just, well, sad to say, you didn't survive the battle. Well, but yeah, remember, some people are going to say, well, it's not hard for me to shoot in prone, but remember, these people aren't you. These people had hard times shooting these. Even I could see the problem shooting these in prone position. Then you got field maintenance. I really don't know the insides of a lever action or bolt action, but from what I've heard from many opinion sites, that, well, basically, like, lever actions are a lot more harder to clean than bolt action rifles. Mainly because of their complexity, from what I've heard. But I'm not going to argue about that. But if anyone knows like any more info on that, feel free to comment down below. I'd really love to know why. Well, until the model 1895 Winchester, you weren't able to load a box system into the lever actions. And even when they did get a box system, it had poor balance compared to other rifles at the time. And like I said earlier, they couldn't use pointed bullets due to a tubular magazine. The tube underneath the hold on, let me get my little laser pointer here. Right underneath this little gun, that's where the ammunition's stored. When you put a bunch of bullets in here, you would pull this lever and it would pull one of these bullets back and chamber it in this barrel. And like just basically like that. Sorry for my poor animation there. But yeah. There were rifles. Well, okay, you might think, okay, well, that might be a problem. But if you think about it, there were bolt-action rifles that did the tubular magazine as well, but they were modified to do this and take pointed ammo. But like for example, the Lebel 1886, the French invented, and the Mauser 1871 to 1880 were able to have a tubular magazine with pointed ammo. But that was problematic because have you seen the loading of a Lebel? If you don't have good cover, you're going to get killed. It takes forever too. And then, same thing like I said earlier, it's hard to shoot it in prone position because you have to roll and turn it, or you turn the rifle sideways and turn it, because you can lose sight of your enemy while turning the rifle. And also, they're a lot less accurate, mainly because they didn't use pointed ammo, and like I said earlier, until 1886, they didn't really have the capacity to use the military rounds, or the more powerful cartridges, sorry. And from what I've heard, they were more expensive to manufacture. Because like I said, they're a lot more complex, and they're a lot more complex than the bolt action. Bolt action was simple. You just pull the bolt up, pull back, push forward, and close. Now you might think, well, what's wrong with the lever action? Well, when you pull that thing back, there's probably a lot of mechanisms in the thing. I'm not saying the bolt action's a lot less complex, because I never really looked inside. I'm not a gun professional, so I can't judge. But if anyone has an answer to that, feel free to comment down below, because I'd really love to know the answer to that. And they were a lot more hard to maintain than a bolt gun, or a bolt action gun. I could see that, because I heard they're really hard to clean. Like I said in field maintenance, they were hard to clean, from what I've heard. But I'm not saying no military adopted this gun. Now, you had the Turkish army, and then you had the Russian army. You know, the Russians were using the M95 for, and then and there was even a battle during the Russo-Turkish War from 1877 to 1878 that the Turks used bolt-action, single-shot bolt-action rifles and Winchesters and held off a Russian advance from July to December. Basically, what they did was they used the single-shot rifles for long range, and they used the Winchesters for close range. And they held off the Russians like that for about, six months, which is kind of crazy. And, well, like I said earlier, the Americans did use, they did use repeating arms, which was like the Spencer repeating rifle, and then you got the Henry rifle. But the main problem, I'm not saying this is the main problem why we didn't adopt them, but this is just one I saw and many other people saw, didn't really point out much. The tube magazine can be damaged. If that's damaged or dented, you can't load, basically. Well, you might think, well, it's a long tube, so if it was dented right here, the bullets just go up to here. Well, yeah, but one problem there. If you think about it, if the bottom of your gun gets destroyed, then you're going to have a problem because you cannot put ammunition in it anymore. Because, basically, imagine taking your Winchester like this one and taking a hammer and denting this. Or imagine getting shot. Your gun gets shot around this area or here. Or you're behind a rock and you're taking cover and you put your gun down really hard and you dent that. Well, you're going to have a problem. As you can see, it doesn't take a gun professional to see what's wrong with that. But, yeah. Basically, bolt-action rifles were faster reloading speed, able to use pointed bullets until 1886. They were easier to fire in prone position, and field maintenance were hard on them, but they were easier to clean than lever actions. Yeah, basically that's some of the main reasons. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If there's something you think I forgot, feel free to tell me down in the comments, because I really love to know, because I'm a really big, nerd for guns and all that stuff. But yeah, if you know anything I didn't explain in this video, or you feel like it should have been involved, feel free to comment down below. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. HistoSoldier out.